Do you ever feel like you're dating an avoidant and sometimes their actions don't actually match their words or what they say they're going to do? Well, it is unfortunately a common dynamic that sometimes avoidants will accidentally use people because they don't recognize that they allow people to invest in them, develop feelings faster than they ever would, and then pull away, leaving behind a wake of heartbreak. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through 7 crucial signs that an avoidant may accidentally or even intentionally be using you. And I want you to, if you're on the receiving end of this, take a list and tally up the 7 to see what your score may be. So number 1, you're going to see that this individual is basically keeping you as an option while avoiding commitment. In other words, they chat with you, they kind of keep you on the sidelines. Maybe you see them every couple of weeks, but there's a total lack of consistency in regards to how often you see them, how frequently you talk to them, and any discussion of the future or any signs that the relationship is progressing. Okay, so that's a huge number 1. If you're like, yeah, this is kind of me, give yourself a half point. If you're like, this is definitely me in my situation, I'm on the end of this, wow, I'm going to score myself a full point for this. I definitely feel like I'm sitting on the sidelines. Number 2, making last minute plans. Okay. If you don't hear from your avoidant attachment style partner, despite what people think, yes, avoidants don't love to plan ahead, but they are going to make a plan with you for the weekend if they're interested in you, and you're going to see them every single weekend. An avoidant who is truly interested is going to show up and invest consistently. So if you're, getting a text on Friday evening at like 7:30 p.m., hey, want to meet up in half an hour? Or you're getting a text on Saturday evening at 5 p.m., hey, what are you doing this evening? And there's no planning in advance, then, by at least a couple of days, right? By at least like 24 hours, 48 hours, bare minimum, then this person may just be there to kind of hang out. Maybe there's a bit of a backup option happening here. Maybe they're just bored and they may not be interested in truly investing in this relationship dynamic at all. And it may be for multiple reasons. Maybe they're fresh out of a breakup. Maybe they're feeling really emotionally unavailable because that's a lot of their conditioning, unfortunately. Or maybe they're just in a place where they're just not looking for something. They're not sure about who they are or ready to make a commitment. But at the end of the day, if you're seeing these things, you have to go by people's actions, not their words. That brings me to point number 3, okay? Making last minute plans or canceling at the last minute all the time. Okay. If somebody is canceling plans at the last minute all the time, that is not a good sign either. If you are not finding yourself seeing somebody at least 1 or 2 times a week, even if somebody's got a pretty busy lifestyle, I mean, of course, long distance relationships are excluded from this, but that should be sort of subbed in with things like FaceTimes. But if you're not seeing somebody once, twice a week, bare minimum, even if they have a busy job, even if they're dating somebody else, I mean, these are some pretty big red flags to address. Number 4, if you get late night texts, I mean, we all know what that means, but if you're getting an 11 p.m. text asking you to hang out and you never really hang out with somebody outside of times like that, I mean, that's not a sign that somebody's trying to really emotionally invest in the relationship. And that's fine, like to each their own. Maybe you're in a place watching this video right now where you're like, I'm not looking for an investment either. I'm just looking for someone fun to hang out with. Okay, great. But if you're developing feelings, you're interested in somebody and you are getting late night texts and showing up and going out of your way to travel to where that person is and spend time with them, then, it is going to give signs that like, hey, I'm not even looking for somebody to invest with me. My standards are pretty low. So it's something important to pay attention to. Number 5, you may find that this person never takes you on a date. If you've been seeing somebody and dating them, and you've never been on a date with them, this person's not trying to invest in you at all. So you have to keep track of that. Has this person taken you on a date? Have you gone out for dinner or drinks? That should be in the early stages of a relationship dynamic, what you're spending your time doing. If you're just hanging out, going to the person's house, watching a movie, they're cooking you dinner, all these different things. I mean, again, that you have to look at. Like, well, how is this person's actions reflecting their intentions? And that's going to say a lot. Now, before I get into the last 2 that are super important here, and I think we have to be super mindful of, I just want to let you know, if you are somebody who is dating, who is trying to like find a healthy partner, a healthy relationship, and you're wondering, what does a secure relationship even look like? Maybe you grew up in a family where you didn't see secure modeling, you didn't even see healthy relating between parents, or maybe you grew up in a single family household, a single parent household. If you are confused and you're curious, I have a course for you all about how a secure person moves through the different stages of a relationship. And you can check this course out fully for free. just for a limited time. And it talks about like how a secure person dates, how a secure person moves into the honeymoon stage, what the true pillars are of becoming a secure attachment style. And again, you can go through all of this. You can get the whole model of a secure person through dating, honeymoon, power struggle stage, how they navigate conflict, stability, commitment, bliss stage of relationships, so that you get so clear about what steps you should be taking to move in that direction yourself. Now, the last two pieces here, and again, the links below fully for free. The last two here are if somebody that you're seeing, and maybe it's been a few weeks or a few months, you've never met their friends. Okay. If you've never met any person in their life, any substantial person, not a great sign. You don't need to meet every single person's friend in the first 2 months of dating, but there should be somebody by like month 3 that you've actually connected with. That's their good friend or a family member or something like that. If this person's interested in progression, of course, long distance relationships can be a little bit excluded from this dynamic. But the last major piece here is if somebody never talks about the future. Okay. They don't say, hey, in a month from now, let's go and do this fun thing. Or, next year it'd be fun to go on vacation here. If somebody isn't actually talking about the future and of course following through with their plans and the things that they say about the future, if you're not seeing those things, not a good sign. So what was your score out of 7? And remember, you can give half points if you're kind of in between. And you want to look like if you're seeing 7 out of 7 of these things, you're probably investing in a dynamic that's just going to not work out for you, period. And it doesn't mean that this person's like a terrible person. It means they're in a different headspace than you and they're not ready for something you're looking for right now. If you are somebody who is wanting to dive into this topic further, one of the best things you can do is learn what your needs are in a conflict. And there's a needs course you can check out using the link below fully for free. And it's not just for a limited time. It's like you actually get to keep it for life. We're doing this just for the month of January. It's free access to a course for life. It's one of my favorite courses in PDS because needs are how you self-soothe. They are how you get to know yourself. They're how you actually fill your own cup and feel more fulfilled, more joyful. And one of the most important things to not just resolve conflict, but to actually be seen and known by somebody else in your life. Hopefully this can act as an honest mirror into your relationship and sort of evaluation with radical honesty about what's going on in your scenario and give you tremendous clarity about what your next move should be. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, share this with somebody who may find it valuable, and stay tuned for another video about the fearful avoidant attachment style tomorrow.